Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French.
And I'm Robinson Miles. So for our first story today, we're actually going to get an update on one that we have been following for a long time. Now, we now know when the man convicted of killing an Evansville firefighter will learn his punishment. Court records show Larry Richmond's sentencing is set for February 13th. Now, his sentencing was initially set for today, but records show a motion was filed by the defense to reschedule, and the state did not object.
Yeah, Richmond was found guilty of killing Evansville firefighter Robert Dorr back in 2019. The jury recommends that he be sentenced to life without parole. Elizabeth Fox Dorr, Robert's then wife, was also convicted in this case, and she was sentenced to 90 years in prison. So, again, like Rob said, a story we have followed for a long time, and we will now continue to follow for at least another month here.
Now, as we've been reporting, Indiana is also experiencing a significant increase in respiratory virus activity. Because of that, Ascension St. Vincent in Evansville and Warwick County are implementing visitor restrictions effective Friday. Now, some of those restrictions are no visitors with any illness, fever, or cough, no visitors under the age of 18, and only 2 visitors at a time.
Yeah, officials say they hope that this will possibly limit the spread of viruses and just ensure the best care to their current patients. So we know that everything has been spreading for quite some time, reporting about that as well with the flu and other respiratory illnesses. So just wanting everyone to stay safe, be careful.
Yeah, a lot of things to keep in mind. We know all the basics, but just another reminder as we continue through the winter. Well, for our final headline today, happening tonight, Feed Evansville officials say they're able to provide groceries for families. According to officials, this is possible due to a last-minute perishable donation and sponsorship. Officials say to park your car and form a line at the garage door to receive your box. The giveaway takes place tonight at the C.K. Newsom Center from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah, this is something we've been covering a while, but this one's a little bit different because they are perishable foods. So you can get your milk and eggs and things like that, of course, thanks to that last-minute donation. So they sort of threw it together right here at the last second, hopefully to help some families out tonight.
One of those things where luck kind of becomes a variable. It was a good moment. Hopefully those in need can take advantage.
Yep.
Well, of course, we've got our reporters and photographers all across the tri-state, so be sure to check back in with us tonight. The 14 News at 4, 5, and 6, and then later tonight at 10.
All right, do not go anywhere. We do have some alert days ahead of us, so meteorologist Michael Fecca will be right back with a check at your forecast.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon, it's meteorologist Michael Fecca. Welcome back to the weather portion of our afternoon streaming show, and we're going to get right into the thick of it here. We've got those alert days on the board for Thursday night, continuing into Friday there. We've got a couple of rounds of rain and thunderstorms that are going to be moving through, and within those rounds, we could have a couple of severe thunderstorms to talk about with the potential for an isolated damaging wind gust and even the potential for a spin-up tornado risk as well. So I'll break all those details down for you here in the forecast. But let's get started here with a look at our severe storm outlook. So today we're not on alert for anything. It's actually a beautiful day out there. We'll talk about what's going on outside in a moment. But for tomorrow, looking at that storm risk, you can see that most of the tri-state here is outlooked into that general thunderstorm risk. So not severe, but just off to our west, that green color, that level 1 out of 5 isolated risk for severe storms does kind of come right up and along to the Wabash River. And that's really where we see the best chance for that potential for a few severe thunderstorms, and again, maybe a damaging wind gust or an isolated tornado, but it totally can't be ruled out here Thursday night. And I think this would be moving in pretty late Thursday night into early Friday morning for us. And then as we head into Friday, that severe weather threat kind of shifts off to the south and off to the east there. So now it just looks like most of our western Kentucky viewing area is included within that level 1 outlook for severe thunderstorms. But I will say, just looking at the models as of this afternoon, it looks like at least Thursday evening we have the better potential for, I think, a severe thunderstorm. I think Friday, I think it's a little bit of a lower threat, but it does still exist there. So that's why we have those alerts in effect for Thursday and Friday. But really, I think we'll be fine for much of the day tomorrow up until Thursday evening. That's when we start to see those storm systems begin to move through. So let's talk about timing in terms of everything. So here we are tomorrow morning. It's 10 a.m. It's mostly cloudy. We've got winds up out of the south, a little bit breezy as well. Warm. We could be talking about record-breaking highs tomorrow as well. Most of the shower activity through tomorrow during the day stays off to our west and off to our north. Again, it's really not until after 8 o'clock that we really start to see any chance for some showers moving through, and then it's not until the overnight hours that I think we have the better chance for maybe some thunderstorms to bubble up there. And then as that frontal boundary kind of shifts off to the east, we'll have another area of low pressure kind of wrap itself up to our south and lift northward, and there's that second threat for some showers and even a few thunderstorms. But again, I think the threat is a little bit lower here for Friday than it is for Thursday. And then it looks like we could still have a few lingering wraparound rain showers through the weekend, or specifically Saturday, before we entirely or completely clear out by Sunday. So here's another look at our risks here. So again, we're all sitting at that level 1 risk for tomorrow, only for those southern Illinois counties, for primarily a damaging wind risk, and you can't completely rule out that potential for maybe a spin-up tornado. And then again, that risk kind of shifts off to the south as we get into tomorrow, or as we get into Friday over western Kentucky. Still an isolated risk for a severe thunderstorm. Again, damaging wind or even a spin-up tornado can't be completely ruled out, but that severe weather risk for Thursday, I think a little bit greater than it is for Friday. So all in all, not a huge widespread severe weather event here. We just kind of wanted to bring your attention to it because it is a rather extended period of time where the weather is a little bit unsettled. And again, I think most of the activity that we see is going to be innocent shower and thunderstorm activity and plain old rain, but occasional severe thunderstorm may bubble up here from Thursday night and through the day into Friday. So again, not like a huge big wintertime blowout here. It's just that alert for an occasional severe thunderstorm possibility. So don't want to scare anybody too much, but we do want to bring your attention to it so that you guys can make proper adjustments to your plans and make sure you have a way to receive warnings in case any are issued. But that is kind of the gist on the severe weather days that we have for Thursday and on Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the comments real quick, see if I can answer anything about this specifically, and then I'm going to go through the rest of the forecast for today and then looking ahead to the weekend and into next week. Looks like Laura Gray, she is watching from Dawson Springs. Suzanne is watching. Thank you for joining us. Zach is asking, is severe or widespread severe weather expected for Evansville Thursday and Friday? No, widespread severe weather not expected. Again, it's really just an isolated risk there for Thursday and Friday. The better chance, I think, in my opinion, is going to be Thursday to see a severe thunderstorm. However, we are outlooked within the tri-state for both days. Do you think the marginal risk will expand over Indiana? I mean, I think that's a possibility, especially for tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if that was nudged over a little bit farther to the east here. But again, with these marginal risks, it's really a fine line between what makes it severe and what is just a normal thunderstorm. Again, nothing overly impressive about this setup. We have a lot of shear, but not a lot of instability. So if we don't really have enough instability, you can't really get enough action for thunderstorms to really grow. So not expecting widespread severe weather. Could we see a severe thunderstorm? I do think that's possible Thursday and Friday here within the tri-state. And Helen is watching from Manitou, Kentucky. Thank you for joining us. Well, so that is kind of the breakdown for Thursday and Friday. Let me go in ahead and talk about what we can expect through the rest of today and headed into this weekend. But we'll start off with a look at our Doppler radar. It's a beautiful day out there. Hardly any even clouds out there, but we will start to see those clouds increase as we head into tonight. Right now, its temperatures are mostly in the upper 50s, even a few spots in the lower 60s, 61 degrees in Henderson, 63 there in Madisonville, sitting at around 57 here in the Evansville area with mostly sunny skies. We will see that gradual increase in cloud cover overnight tonight, but we should stay dry. Temperatures will also stay fairly mild, only dropping down into the lower 40s tonight, and winds will stay out of the southeast between 3 to 6 miles per hour as well, helping to keep us on the warmer side. Now, I did mention it's going to be very, very warm through tomorrow as well. We could be seeing temperatures climbing all the way up into the upper 60s again ahead of that frontal system. So we have a record high that we potentially may break. That record high was 68 degrees set back in 1965. Our forecast is 67. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that in addition to any thunderstorms over the next few days. And it's more than just tomorrow afternoon that we have the potential to break some warm records. So we have that afternoon high tomorrow, and then it looks like overnight into early Thursday morning, those overnight lows, we will likely easily break that previous record of 49 degrees set back in 1935. We're only expected to drop down into the upper 50s to around 60 tomorrow night. And then for Friday's highs, we may match it or fall short or fall just above. We have a forecast of around 65. The previous record was also 65 degrees set back in 1963. So a couple of records we're watching in addition to those alerts for Thursday and Friday. But looking beyond this weekend, here's that second system moving in and out of here. I was talking about that potential for some wraparound rain showers lingering into the weekend. So here we are Saturday afternoon. Again, just some residual moisture wrapping around that low. We could have some sprinkles hanging around through the day Saturday before drying out briefly before another chance of some sprinkles and perhaps a few flurries overnight into early Sunday morning. I don't think we completely dry out of this system until we get into Sunday, and then it's also going to be a lot chillier out there. So it'll be more of a gradual cool down compared to that big frontals boundary we had moved through a couple of weekends ago, but it's still, we're going from the upper 60s down into the 30s by the time we get into Sunday. So a big change in those temperatures happening over the weekend, and it looks like looking ahead here for the next 6 to 10 days will likely remain right around average or slightly above for our temperatures through the middle of January. So looking at our trend here, we'll be well above average here through the start of the weekend, and then by Sunday we drop back down below average, topping out in the 30s, and then we start to hover back around average there for Monday before hanging out slightly above into the mid to upper 40s to right around 50 for the middle and end of next week. And in terms of our precipitation, likely ending up also right around average for this time of year. Nothing major expected to move through after this weekend, so the following week here looks pretty quiet. We'll have high pressure build back in, and as it shifts off to the south for the start of next week, that's when we'll start to see some winds come up out of the south. That's will also start to warm us up through next week as well. And then it looks like another frontal boundary slides through by the middle and end of next week. Not a whole lot of moisture for that one to work with, so it might just cool us down with a chance for a few sprinkles or a few flurries. But again, nothing major moving in for next week. The next big things we have here are those alert days for Thursday and Friday. Excuse me, let me pull up the correct 7-day for you so that they're on the actual days that I'm talking about. So again, quiet through the rest of today. Quite nice, sunny skies, warm out there, temps in the upper 50s to right around 60. Tomorrow, very, very warm, climbing into the upper 60s. Possibly breaking a record high tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and then again Friday afternoon, in addition to that potential for an isolated severe thunderstorm Thursday night through Friday. But I think the best potential there is going to be that time frame for Thursday night. And then we have a few lingering showers Saturday before we completely dry out and cool down for the second half of the weekend by Sunday, topping out in the 30s. And then we'll rebound back into the 40s and 50s for the start of next week with plenty of sunshine. So that is all I've got here for the forecast. I'm going to go ahead and check out the comments one more time. I'm not seeing any new questions, so hopefully everybody straightened out here with these alert days for Thursday and Friday. And then outside of that, fairly quiet and seasonable, but we do have some big changes in those temperatures, especially for this weekend. So watch out for that. I'm sure many of us are probably feeling it, feeling the runny noses, the sore throats with these temperature swings. So hopefully we can maybe average out sometime soon. But that's all I've got for the forecast. I'm going to hop off the live stream. I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 4, 5, and 6 for the latest news and weather headlines. And then, of course, I'll be back here tonight at 9 o'clock on All Streaming with another update for your forecast and for those alert days. So until then, everybody, stay safe and have a great rest of your day.